Hello, it is the 20th of January 2025, Monday, and the European market is about to open. Just as a reminder, it is Martin Luther King Day in America, so the US is closed for business later today, so there will only be the EU session. On Friday evening, I decided to let my trades run into close, which maybe wasn't the best idea for an OPEX Friday, but there you go. I decided to be ambitious, and instead of closing around here for some profit, I decided to let them run, and I got stopped out of break even of the original entry in SPX and a little loss in the add-on. So a bit unfortunate and maybe a bit silly of me to let those run. But I think it evens out in the long run, because sometimes it will continue rallying, so I think that's fine. What else did we have here? I was also long gold off the second 15-minute bar break, and it had kind of a similar pattern where initially we continued going up. I even added to my position again, and yeah, again I decided to let it run. Should have probably just been a bit more conservative with these entries, but there you go. Got stopped out, didn't lose that much, but considering it wasn't a great day, probably letting these run wasn't the smartest idea. But then again, like I said, I think in the long run it's fine, and generally you shouldn't make decisions based on how your day has gone so far. So I'm fine with both decisions, but at the same time I do see why some might look at this and say, well, you should have probably taken profit sooner. This is maybe also a consequence of me adding, because you add and then I made like 3 extra points maximum since the add-on, so you're not really gonna close here. I do realize we were double topping with the Asia high, but at the same time I also left my station a bit here. So yeah, my decision was to let them run, and it didn't work out, so that's fine. So we ended up with not a pretty run of trades on Friday, but let's see, we're a bit down on the account now, so you can see how easily we can swing. But the reality is that even with a good strategy, even with a, let's say, 50% win rate, which is quite normal, even with that, you'll still encounter runs of 6 losses in a row, 7 losses in a row. You can even eventually get even more than that. And that's why it's so important to manage risk. And on a prop firm account, I can't really go higher than 0.5% risk. And this is exactly why. So we've just opened in Europe while I was talking. We will be looking for the first 5-minute bar in the UK 100. And I'm interested in this bar if it's a negative. Right now it's a positive, so unless it reverses soon, I'm not going to be interested in trade here right now. I will be interested, however, in the second 5-minute bar in the DAX, as per usual recently. This is an entry that has worked very well, and I will continue to take it as long as it keeps returning value over time. The moment it goes on a bad run, I will stop taking it and reassess. So we will take the second 5-minute bar in the DAX, the first 15-minute bar in gold, and the first 15-minute bar in the Dow. And what I mean by we will take those entries is when the bar completes, I will place a buy order above and a sell order below. And once I get filled in one direction, I will delete the other order and place the stop in its place. These are entries that I research thoroughly and track daily, and right now they return a profit over time. Of course, that can always change, so you need to always keep doing your research. And what I found is that they go on runs, so one of these entries can work very well for a few weeks, sometimes a month, sometimes a few months in a row, and then they'll just stop working. And what you do is you keep track of them through the period where it's not working, and when it starts working again, that's when you start taking them again. So I rotate some of the entries. There are some entries that used to work very well that are not working right now. For example, a few months ago, like 3-4 months ago, I was taking the first 15-minute bar in the UK 100 and it was working really well. This hasn't worked now for the past month that well, but I am tracking it. So when that entry starts returning profit again consistently, then I'll go back to it, and I will expect that to happen anytime soon. And when it does, you will see me take the first 15-minute bar in the UK 100, and I may take it for, again, weeks, months, because I've seen it work very well in the past. So I know it has periods where it works really well. So I'm just anticipating and tracking and keeping an eye on it. And when that moment happens, I'll be there. So the first 5-minute bar in the UK 100 has completed. There is a setup that says you should sell if price goes below this bar, but this setup hasn't worked that well lately, so it's one that I've shelved for now, just like the first 15-minute in the UK 100. So I hope that's a decent explanation for what I'm doing, and it's easy to understand. Feel free to ask questions if you have them. So I'll pause you here and I'll wait for the second 5-minute bar in the DAX to complete, and we'll see then. Okay, we're about to complete the second 5-minute bar. Obviously we're rallying into previous day high, so it might be looking a bit scary to buy above this. I'll place the sell order below. We're precisely at the top, so this requires a bit of execution to get right here, but I'm actually going to wait for the bar to complete. Okay. So it's kind of like this. I think that's enough of a cushion. Let's see if I got the sizing right here. Yeah, it's like 23 points. That's fine. Could have gone even higher, but let's not go too high and manage our risk. It's a bit of a smaller bar, and smaller bars haven't been great triggers for me lately in the DAX. So let's see. I think this cushion of around 3 points is enough. Enough that, you know, if price just wants to go just above it and sell, just stops me from getting filled, and it's what happened so far. But let's see if we do get back up here. Obviously there's going to be some resistance here. We are at a previous day high, and price does like to revisit that and then reverse a lot, but at the same time people do expect that, and you do have people trapped here who are selling and getting trapped. So we'll see. We've gotten filled, so deleting the short order and placing the stop its place, respecting the cushion as well. So this is the stop, it's under 0.5%. And for this, generally I don't let this run without a take profit. The second 5-minute bar in the DAX kind of requires a faster take profit, but we are at all-time highs, and this is what happened on Friday. We just shot up like 100 points. So I'm gonna go for an ambitious target here. Not quite 100 points, but let's go something like this. I think 60 points should be fine. If we get to like 40 points, which is the average that I generally make on this entry when it works, and price stumbles around there, I might consider taking profit earlier, but let's see if we even get there. There is going to be some pressure here. So we'll now see if we have strength to push this upwards, or if sellers at previous day high managed to push this down. This is a mechanical entry, so whatever happens is perfectly fine. Over time I expect this to make me more points than it loses. And it has. I mean, this particular entry has been very profitable for like a month, maybe more. It hasn't really cooled down yet. It has had a bit of a more difficult time lately, but it's still profitable. So in the last 10 days, it was profitable 6 times and unprofitable 4 times. And every time it's been profitable, it's made more than on losing days. So there you go. And yes, I track this. I have a spreadsheet that I'm looking at when I'm seeing this. So we're about to complete the first 15 minutes of trading in the EU session. Just checking the ranges here. I think I can go like this, buying above. Gonna use a 5 to 6 point cushion for the Dow. And for gold, buy above, sell below, just placing these quickly by eye and then adjusting. About half a point of cushion in gold. So 42, I'm gonna go to, yeah, something like that. And that was quite fast. So a classic move above previous day high and then reversal. Nothing we can do about that. I can see that that's a possibility, but obviously I have a mechanical entry planned out, so I have to take it. I do also have the second 15-minute bar in the DAX entry for today, so it will be a break of this candle when it completes. We'll see. We'll now focus on the other orders. So that's 2 days in a row where this hasn't worked. It has happened once in the past 2 weeks. So it's nothing too out of the ordinary. Now, if I take this tomorrow and it doesn't work tomorrow as well, it will be the first time that it doesn't work 3 days in a row. So that will definitely be something that I take into consideration, and I might not take it on Wednesday. But as it stands, I will be taking this entry tomorrow as well. There is, however, an observation I can make, and that is that every time that the second 5-minute bar has been like under 30 points, like around 20, 25, even 50 points, this entry hasn't worked. So it hasn't worked whenever the bar was smaller and it allowed me to place a higher sized trade. So that's something that I am going to take into consideration. Three minutes away from completing the second 15-minute bars, and we've just gotten filled short here in the Dow. So as per usual, we will delete the order, place the stop, and as a target here, I'm going to go towards the low of Asia session, because we went above Asia session, rejected hard. I think this is quite likely. If I look at a higher time frame, of course we could always retrace this area of breakout, but I do think that we're probably gonna attempt to go for this area here at some time soon. So this is why I don't really favor going lower for now. So letting that there, and let me just check the size of this bar. Oops. So it's 925. It's like a 35-point bar right now. Lower sizing will be required. Quite the rejection here in the DAX, but again, we're at all-time highs. I don't really favor a huge sell here, so if we get filled short, I'm not really going to target the lows of yesterday. Of Friday, I mean, of course, the previous trading day. Now we've just equaled the low of this opening bar, and we're about to complete the second 15-minute bar. So again, there's going to be a long above it. And a short below. We could get unlucky here, of course. Because we basically rated the top of Asia session, and now we're at the lows. We could easily dump and then come back into the range, but I will follow my strategy. So short entry here, long entry here, and we will wait for a fill, whichever direction it happens. I do also have an entry in the UK 100. This is one that has also worked well in the past, but I haven't taken it since making these videos. But it will be a 30-minute bar entry in the UK 100, and it will happen at the completion of the 12 o'clock 30-minute bar, and that's 12 o'clock GMT plus 2. I don't know if I'll show that on video, but if I do place it, you will see the result of it tomorrow. For now, let's see what happens here. I would expect here that we keep selling after a bit of a retrace attempt. But we'll see. Still no fill in gold, so we'll wait for that as well, and I'll pause you for now. Got filled long in gold, removed the short order, placed the stop in its place. We're retracing a bit here right after getting filled, but that will happen sometimes. I will be targeting this previous high. And we've tried to retrace here a bit. And now we're selling again, so let's see in the Dow if this keeps reversing now. Not a great initial reaction in gold, but let's see what happens. So I'll now manage these positions and bring you back when we have a clearer picture, or when I get stopped out or hit a profit. So let's see, I'll bring you back. An update from me here. I've waited a few hours because not much has been happening. I even marked the 30-minute bar that I was talking about and waited for quite a bit for a fill. Just to note that this is the bar I'm talking about. And as you can see, we still haven't broken it, so I deleted the orders, because if we just stay in such a tight range for so long, then obviously I don't consider the setup valid anymore. I'm expecting a break, like at least at maximum half an hour to 45 minutes after I've placed the orders. If it doesn't happen, I'm starting to question if I should keep the orders open, and I've deleted them in this case. I did hit TP here. Actually, it didn't hit TP, I manually closed it when it started hanging around over here a bit. And my TP was just a bit lower, so it might have hit, it might have not hit. I'm happy with exiting here. And the gold trade went close to Asia high, but then reversed. I moved my TP higher. It was here before, so we basically just missed TP by a few points. But now I'm thinking that if we do revisit these highs, we probably are gonna go try and touch previous day high, so I think it's safer to raise the TP a bit here. And I'll let this trade play out, considering there's no US session today. I'll let this run throughout the day and see what happens. I'll keep the stop in place. So far today, a losing trade in the DAX and the winning trade in the Dow. I guess the gold trade will make the difference. We'll see. I'll pause you, and whenever we get a conclusion to this trade, I will come back and record the ending of this video. Bit of an unexpected price action here. 1 hour before normally the US market opens. Obviously the market is closed today, but there are no news, there have been no real news coming out, and yet it seems we've just had some algo driven price action, like some big news has come out. Bit weird. I'm glad I wasn't involved in a trade here that would have been a bit silly. And for the gold trade, this hasn't gone as volatile as the indices, but still it's quite volatile, and if I do get stopped here, I think that's a bit unfortunate, but I will let it play out. It might even be a case of it just tagging it and reversing, but I'm not going to manually close it. Just going to consider that it was not one of the days when this works. But a bit weird. To get this sudden volatility out of nothing on a day where the US market is closed and there's no real news coming out at this hour. But yeah, we almost got stopped out here. We double bottomed with this low of the London session, and we're trying to go back up here. I think if we survive this now, we do have a good shot at hitting TP. But this has been a bit all over the place. Yeah, there's an argument to be made that one should perhaps adjust their entries and strategy on a day where the US market is closed, but my entries were aimed at the London session, so I don't see why those wouldn't work. And in the past, they've worked fine, even when the US was closed later on. So I'm just observing this price action and hoping to get a TP. If not, that's fine, and we go again tomorrow. And what I suggested could happen just happened. We basically just got tagged here and price reversed hard. A bit unfortunate because we had already revisited this low and I was hoping it would just hold, but it's being a bit weird, the whole thing, so I'm not bothered that I let it run. It could have easily gone in the opposite direction, and I think it's fine to let the strategy play out. At most, I had like 6 points of profit. I don't think that's enough to close early and take profit. And I think it's just a bit unfortunate that didn't get a bit more and hit TP, but that's what happens sometimes. So with that in mind, that was all the action for today. 2 losses, 1 win. A bit down on the account, close to 2%, but nothing major, and we move on to tomorrow, and there's a normal trading day, and hopefully we can have a better one. So thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video and this type of video, please like and subscribe. I will try to post videos daily, always explaining my entries, my strategies, and hopefully showing you how I pass this account. That being said, I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.